guys, we're going to give you a little look-see what's going on here on a Saturday morning. That's right, Saturday morning. Hell yeah! We're having fun today. Let's check it out. Okay, so the 74 Cuda. As you can see, it's coming together. Look at that. It's all nicely painted up. 360, definitely got some good horsepower. Got to be at least 400 plus. As I said earlier, we paint and detail everything. You can see up underneath all of it. Now, what happens though, like I say, we paint all the edges, all the jambs, everything like you see, right down to the package tray in the back. Look at that. Then what happens is we will mask this car. This car will be almost a full day of masking for Sean. When the time does come for it to go for paint, we'll mask it. And there will be no tape lines and no edges. There's a way of getting around that. There is a way of getting around it, but we can't give all our secrets out. And no, it's not called a wet sand and polish the edge off at the end of the paint job. We don't need to do that because we have the best painter out there, Jared. And he knows what's going on. So she's coming along quite well. Owner went with Hotchkiss suspension underneath. Obviously it's got disc brakes on the front, upgraded. It's going the factory color, the Raleigh Red, which is what's on this car. That's what's happening with that. Now, the 58 Chevy pizza oven truck, it is up and running. Chris has got it all wired up, the diesel on that fired right up, it's running great. So what we're waiting on the heater with the AC unit, which we've been waiting on for 4 weeks now, which is kind of messing us up. Because once we get the heater and the AC unit, we got to mount it, right? Obviously, there's some fabrication work, we got to mount it. And we'll be cutting and welding some of these holes up in the firewall that don't need to be there. We don't know what we're going to keep, what we're not going to keep. Then we can lift the cab off. That's right, you got to blow it all back apart again. That's what's involved here. Together, you put it together, you take it apart. You put it together, you take it apart. Anyway, then once you get the AC mounted, we take everything apart, and then some of the parts of the body are in final primer, some are only in first primer. But anyway, then we get it all finalized, finished, and start painting it. And then it basically goes back together much like the Cuda did. We get all the edges, the jambs, the firewall, all that kind of stuff painted, just like you see in the Cuda. And then we mask this all off, and then we paint the outside, and it's all done. The good news on this truck is there is no box, right? It's going a flat deck on the back. So, that is what's happening. There's your little update on a Saturday morning, what we got going on, what we're doing. Another one of my little toys over here, 312Y block, all been rebuilt. Bought it off a gentleman, took it in, had it rebuilt, was going to put it in his car, and then decided to go modern. Actually, he did put it in the car. He ran it in the car for like, I don't know, not even 500 miles, and then he thought, you know what, I just want to go modern engine because he drives his car and he was worried about not being able to get parts if something broke down or whatever. So, hey, all I do is carry spare parts with me. I mean, what can possibly go wrong, right? So that's it. So, there you go. That's what's happening. It's always good time at old time. I got to get the hell out of here because even though it's Saturday, I don't work. Anyway, we'll see you later. Big thumbs up.